Hi everyone, I'm Tovah and thanks for joining. Today's class is going to be a Vinyasa and Yin mix, and we're going to be balancing between stillness and movement. Let's get ready to practice. Standing at the top of your mat with your hands at your heart. Just taking the first few moments of today's practice to ground, to breathe, maybe to set an intention for today's practice. As you start to breathe deeper and stronger using your belly breaths, you start to quiet your mind. Settle yourself into today's practice, where we're mixing movement and stillness. Beginning with movement as we move through a few warming sun salutations, releasing the palms, inhale, swooping all the way high, and exhale as you swan dive, folding forward, bowing your head. Inhale, lifting a little, eyes reaching, looking forward. Reaching for the floor, hopping or stepping back. Melting down to your mat. Turning the toes and inhaling for a nice gentle back bend. Releasing and pressing back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. As we press back towards the heels, tipping our sitting bones high. Reaching our lower stomach towards our upper thighs. Pedaling your feet a few times if you wish here, letting your hips just find a little bit of movement as you settle in. Looking to your hands, hopping or stepping there. Exhale, relax your back as you soften your knees and fold forward. Inhale, big swoop, come all the way to the top. And exhale, let's pour back down, folding. Lifting and lengthening your back. And that might be just coming up a slight bit. If you're not coming as far forward, it might be somewhere halfway up your shins, finding the spot that's right for you. Reaching to the ground, stepping back, finding plank, and then lowering down, elbows wrapping the ribs. As you turn the toes, lift your chin and your eyes. Release and press to downward facing dog, using your knees or using your toes here. Shifting your weight back. Softening your knees a little more if it feels tight through your hamstrings, through your back, or if you're not getting that really nice tip in your hips. Looking forward, hop or step to your hands. Exhale, relax your back, lower your head. Inhale, big swoop, come all the way up. And we're taking one more salutation as we swan dive back down. Soft knees, soft head. Inhale, lengthen your back, collarbones are opening. Reaching for the ground, stepping back, easing yourself down. Inhale as you shine your heart ahead. And exhale, coming into down facing dog. Breathing here. Looking to your hands, hopping or stepping there. Exhale as you melt and fold forward a little deeper. Releasing any tension through your neck and your shoulders. Inhale, swoop to come all the way up. Drawing your hands down to your heart in Anjali Mudra. Taking a long step back with your right leg as you take your time finding your way into high lunge. Folding forward, reaching for your mat, stepping back to plank. And then drawing up through your belly button as you press back to downward facing dog. Lift your right leg high. Step it or boost it up to your hands, reaching back up, finding that lunge position. As you fold down, slowly moving and flowing here as we press back to plank and we draw back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Reach it and step it up to your hands, exhaling and inhaling to lift, folding back down. Stepping back to plank, pressing back to downward facing dog. And we're moving into our first period of stillness in today's practice. Lift your right leg up and bring your right knee near your right wrist to come in to Pigeon Pose. Walking the back leg as far back as feels comfortable as we lower our seat closer to the floor. Staying here, or let yourself melt to the bottom, and please do feel free to use a prop or a cushion underneath your bum, your head, your chest, or maybe you want to use your hands to rest your head on, or just let your chin bow gently. And now's the period in the practice that you want to try to quiet your mind even just a little bit more. As we move into these periods of stillness, looking for calmness and quietness. Trying not to fidget or move about, but definitely move your position if you're just readjusting to make it more optimal for your body. And if you're wanting to join me in a variation of Pigeon Stretch today, you can rotate to the side, so the side that your foot is on, turning, so I'm turning just gently to the left, and then I can come down in that position. And only turn as far as feels comfortable for you, pushing the seat back, so you might notice you feel just a little bit deeper stretch in the upper outer buttocks. Taking just a few more breaths here. As we move away from stillness, bringing yourself back to the center of your mat if you were adding that small twist. Pressing back to downward facing dog. Looking to your hands, hopper step there. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, big swoop, come all the way to the top. And flowing with one sun salutation, pour back forward, falling over your thighs. Inhale, long back, and exhale as you reach back and step back, lowering nice and strong. Inhale, big energetic breath. Release and find downward facing dog, pressing there in a way that's appropriate for you, from knees or from toes. Look to your hands, hopper step forward. Exhale, relax your back, lower your head. Inhale, big swoop, come all the way to the top as your hands draw down to your heart. Continuing to move and flow, we step back with our left leg, reaching the arms high, long and strong. Folding for your mat, stepping back to plank. Draw your belly button in to use your core as you shift back to downward facing dog. Raise your left leg, step it or help it get all the way up to the top as you reach back up and lunge, maybe finding a little back bend. Folding back down, stepping back to plank. Drawing back to downward dog, moving slowly, not rushing to get there. Lift the left leg, step it to your hands, and reach all the way back up. Lifting the chin and eyes, folding back down. Stepping back and drawing back to downward facing dog. As we move back into stillness, lift the left leg and bring the left knee near the left wrist as you walk your back leg back. Taking any propping that your body appreciates here as you settle in. Let your mind become a little more quiet, sending your breath into your hips. Remember, it's always okay to move and adjust your position. You'd never want to feel pain here, maybe just a little bit of mild discomfort. As we come close to our edge, and then take about a step back from there. So erring more on the side of gentleness than of pushing ahead. And that right there is one of the hardest things for people. We're kind of hardwired to give it our all, to strive, to go faster, go harder. But in order to release the tension through our body and to calm our nervous system, calm our mind, we need to move slow. We need to be gentle in this practice. If you wish, finding that small twist here as I turn towards my right side, so you're turning towards the foot that's down by your groin, and then you can let yourself just hang out here for a few more breaths. Good, and let's move away from that gentle twist in our pigeon, if you were twisted. Making your way back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Tipping the hips high, relaxing the neck, rooting all of your knuckles into the mat. It's always nice to check now and again to make sure that especially your thumb and your first finger are rooting down, otherwise it's causing a lot of undue stress on your wrists. Look to your hands, make your way there. Exhale, release your back. Inhale, swoop to come all the way high. As we take one salutation here, swan dive forward. Inhale, lengthen and lift. And exhale as you reach for the floor, hop or step back. Melting downward. Inhale as you peel away, taking cobra or upward facing dog. Release and press to downward facing dog. Eyes looking to hands, hop or step there. As you relax your back, ease your head and neck down. Inhale, big stretch, come all the way up. Eyes up, chest up, and then we draw our hands down to our heart. As we continue with movement, you're going to inhale, back bend as you exhale. Inhale. And exhale as you fold forward, reaching towards the floor. Inhale, big breath, come all the way up. Exhale, hands draw to your heart. Inhale, and exhale as you back bend. Inhale, and exhale, fold forward. Release the head. Inhale, big strong breath, come all the way up. Draw your hands to your heart, exhale. Inhale, bending back. Exhaling, coming to the top. Inhaling and exhale as you let yourself fold forward. And here's where we're moving into stillness. Standing forward fold. Make sure your knees are soft enough that there's not too much tension across your hamstrings and your lower back. As you start to tip your hips, you want to aim to have your stomach lying across your thighs, or get as close to that as you can. And if it's a fair ways away, if you're really rounding out, try to bend your knees a little bit more, which will help you get a little bit more tip through your hips, so it'll ease some of the tension that's there. Let your head hang heavy, either reaching your arms towards the floor or maybe tucking a block or a cushion underneath them, bringing the floor to you, or holding opposite elbows as you let yourself dangle here, or taking the hands back behind the calves, pulling yourself down gently. Try to put the weight a little more towards the front of your foot. So if you notice that you're really easing back into your buttocks and sticking your bum back, see if you can shift your weight just a little bit. That will help tip your hips a little bit more and bring you just a little more stretch through your hamstrings. Remember, changing your position anytime is fine. Maybe you want to explore a different arm variation as we stay for just a few more breaths. Good, releasing the palms. Inhale, come all the way high. And exhale, taking one sun salutation, swan dive down. Lengthen your back as you lift. Reaching for your mat, stepping back, melting down. Elbows tucked into your sides as you move into the back bend of your choice. Release and press to downward facing dog. Take your knees gently down to child's pose here. Shifting your bum back. As we continue through movement, shifting ahead, bending the elbows so that you're bringing your chest and your chin towards the floor, and then come on through, lifting to cobra. Release and flatten, pressing back to resting child's pose. Just bowing your head for a moment, shifting ahead through. Knees, chest, chin, rolling on up into cobra, looking to keep our bottom ribs still on our mat. Release and press back to child's balasana. And one more time, sliding on through, easing yourself down, lifting your heart. And as we continue here, pressing back just to kneeling. And we're going to open our heart a little further as we come into stillness in puppy pose. So stacking your hips over top of your knees as you walk your hands ahead. Let your heart start to melt down towards your mat, resting your forehead down. You could tuck a cushion underneath your head if it doesn't easily reach, and you may want to turn your thumbs up to the roof to make it a little gentler on your shoulders. And if this is a little too intense for you today, you're going to shift yourself back as close or all the way to child's pose as you need. So it could be shifting back just a little bit. You might decide that you want to go all the way back and just stay in child's pose today. And that's completely your choice. So find a place that's comfortable for you as we settle in. Let your heart melt down. Letting go and releasing any tension that you're hanging on through your neck and the back of your shoulder blades. This is an excellent posture for anyone who spends a lot of time working at a computer or a smartphone, to really get rid of that rounding through your back, hunching through the shoulders. Excellent. Let's slide ahead through. Come all the way onto your stomach here. Bringing your hands either forward or keeping them tucked back by your sides. As you rest your head down onto your mat, either resting your head on your hands or turning your head to one side. Just letting your body rest for the next couple moments. As you melt into your mat, releasing tension through the buttocks, through the legs. Let your hips sink down into the floor, relaxing your upper body, letting go of any tension that might be hanging on in your neck. I'm going to encourage you to stay in that lying resting position for as long as your body wants to stay there. Thank you so much for joining me in practice today. Namaste.